He who understands the movement of energy wields the power of the universe. Hermetic axiom. There is a mysterious figure whose name has echoed throughout history, whispered in secret circles of knowledge. His name was Hermes Trismegistus. Was he a man, a god, or something beyond human understanding? Some say he was the wisest being to ever walk the earth. Others believe he never existed at all, but left behind a body of knowledge so powerful it would shape entire civilizations. The Egyptians knew him as the god of wisdom and writing. The Greeks called him Hermes, the messenger of the gods. But those who studied his secrets believed he had mastered something far greater, the ability to control energy itself. The ancient texts say he could bend reality with thought, shift the forces of nature with intention, travel at the speed of light, and unlock the hidden potential within the human mind. Now, before there was Qigong, before pranayama, before the chakra system, the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus described an energy force that flows through all things, one that could be harnessed, shaped, and directed by those who understood its laws. His writings, recorded in the Corpus Hermeticum, hold the blueprint for energy control, a knowledge so profound it was later scattered, disguised, and hidden in other traditions. But what if the original Hermetic principles were never lost? What if they contain the true foundation of all energy work? Well, in this video, I'm going to uncover 4 forgotten Hermetic energy principles, the key to understanding and mastering your own energy field. And at the end, I'm going to guide you through a powerful technique to awaken this force within you, using methods that have been practiced by the first true masters of energy control. This is knowledge that was never meant to be lost, and today we're bringing it back. Okay, so what if I told you that everything we know about energy work, breath control, and manifestation didn't actually originate in the East, but from a 1500-year-old Hermetic text that most people never have even read? This isn't just another mystical book. The Corpus Hermeticum is one of the most oldest hidden manuals on energy control, one that predates Qigong, pranayama, and even the chakra system. And yet, if you actually read between the lines, it's all there. It describes a universal force, a living energy that flows through everything. It explains how this force can be harnessed, directed, and even transformed. But here's the thing. The Hermetic masters didn't just study energy. They actually mastered it. And if you understand what they were really saying, you start to see how these teachings influenced everything, from Eastern energy practices to modern day manifestation. So let's break it down. There are 4 key Hermetic principles that hold the secret to real energy control. And when you get this, once you actually understand this, everything about energy work will actually start to make sense. So with that, let's get started with principle number 1. The Corpus Hermeticum states that all is mind. You've probably heard this many times, you've probably even seen this in the Kabbalion before. But what does this really mean? All is mind. Simply put, everything is connected to thought. When you can conceive of something internally, the physical equivalent exists externally. So our thought directs the reality that we see. And how it does this is by directing the channel of energy that's flowing. So there's a formula that I've crafted that describes how reality is shaped by thoughts. Okay, so if you notice your thoughts right now, and when most people think, there is an intensity of thought and there is a concentration of thought. So this can be thought of as the intensity in your emotional attachment to something. So you give it intensity through how much you emotionalize the thought, how much energy you give it with your emotions. Okay, so if I really, really love something and I focus on it, there is an intensity attached to how strongly I love it, and there is a content of my love as well. Okay, so reality, R equals IC. Reality equals intensity of your thought, aka the emotion behind it, multiplied by the content of your intensity. So if I love something very, very much, I am more likely to get more of that. If I hate something very, very much, I'm also very, very likely to get a lot of that. The issue with this can be that most people, when they think about their goals, it typically stems from a place of deep scarcity and lack. So for example, right now, if you're working a job you absolutely hate, and You wake up feeling burnt out and a lack of passion and excitement, but in your mind you've figured out that the solution to that is to find a job that you like or start a business that you feel passionate about, and you've been trying to start a business for a very long time. But every single day you are faced with the reality of the job that you hate. And so you keep incessantly focusing on what you hate and what you don't want more than what you do want and what you want to move towards. What happens in this instance? What is reality reflecting back to us? Well, reality is now being shaped by the intensity of my hatred towards the job I want to leave and the content of my hatred, which is the job I want to leave. So what happens now? Now your boss dumps more work on you. Now the job gets even more crazy and you hate it even more. More things happen that make you dislike that job even more. So do you see how this is working? Most people want to shift their realities, they want to move towards something, but the intensity of their hatred is so much stronger than the intensity of their love and the vision that they have towards what they want to move towards. If you look at most successful people, I'm taking just the richest people in the world who have created visionary businesses like Elon Musk, like Jeff Bezos. These examples you might not like because they're controversial figures, but if you look at them, if we just study them for the sake of studying them, they are visionaries, right? They had a vision and they focused on that vision even during the darkest times in their lives. If you read their autobiographies or their biographies, you'll notice that there have been times in Elon Musk's life where he would wake up in the middle of the night with anxiety, like just almost throwing up with like a crazy stomach ulcer, and after the death of his first son, like he could barely move, but he still had like 3 or 4 different businesses to run, and he went through all that shenanigan. Now I'm not saying that's something you should model, but a lot of successful people talk about their ability to tolerate pain. If you're going through a really painful situation in your life right now, I can promise you, if you can make it through this, the other side that you come out of is going to be magnificent. It's going to be beyond your wildest dreams. But all you need to do is pass this test. But people fail to do this because they return back to their old ways of thinking and they keep focusing on what they don't want. That's why 99% of people never really succeed or get out of the rut. Every single successful person's story has struggle in it. I want you to name me like one person who has achieved anything worthwhile that they're proud of that hasn't gone through any kind of struggle. What they were able to do, these successful people, is in spite of focusing, in spite of going through such hardship, they were still able to focus on what they wanted, the thing that they wanted to move towards, the dream that they had, the vision that they had. So right now, if you're going through a tough time in your life, what is that vision that you have for your life that you want to move towards? This is very, very crucial, okay? I want you to remember this all the time because the content that you focus on is the most important, multiplied by the intensity. Whatever you hate, you get more of. Whatever you love, you get more of, provided there is sincerity in your hatred and your love. For example, you may say, I hate money, so therefore I will get more of money. No, it don't work like that. Because you can't sincerely hate money. Because if you did, you would start to notice like, I hate this. Like you actually start getting more of it. If you sincerely hate something, the more you hate it, the more you will get it. That is just the law of consciousness. So the one thing I want you to keep in mind is always take a mental inventory of what's going on and what you're focusing on right now. Because whatever you focus on, all is mind. That is how thought energy gets transmuted. It gets moved towards that direction. And when it gets moved in this particular direction, whatever we focus on, we get more of. That's why more and more of this keeps manifesting, which leads very, very well to the principle number 2, the law of vibration, or as the Corpus Hermeticum puts it, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. So in understanding the law of vibration, this is the fundamental law. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. However, there's 2 different types of vibrations that we predominantly refer to when we talk about vibration or frequency or the state of consciousness. There is what's known as high vibration, that is life-supporting, and low vibration, that is life-threatening. There is also neutrality in the middle, but typically most people are in high vibration, that is life-affirming or life-supporting, or low vibration, that is life-threatening. They're either in power or they're in force. Power is win-win, force is win-lose. When you're in a place of force, you're always trying to feed yourself at the expense of someone else. When you're in win-win, you're always trying to feed yourself whilst making sure that other people win as well. And by the way, when you do that, when you're in that state of giving and winning and making sure other people win as well, sharing, what you'll notice is it will create better karma for you. Good things will just boomerang back to you, because remember, we're all connected. If I'm trying to harm someone else, harm will somehow come my way because we are connected, okay? And a big lesson I learned was initially when I started to make these videos, I had a lot of self-doubt because I was like, I've never made a YouTube video before. Why would someone listen to me? You know, I'm just this 20-something-year-old trying to teach people about life. Why should someone listen to me when there's Tony Robbins and all of these big people, big gurus out there, right, that I would look up to at the time? But then I shifted my focus from that, I changed my energy from that to focusing on, hey, what can I share? Because if my focus goes from me to just sharing, now I'm more at ease. I've taken the pressure off myself. So when you get into this frame of sharing, it's a win-win. You come from a place of power as opposed to a place of force of, I'm the greatest and you must look up to me and, you know, you must listen to me. That puts a lot of pressure on me, right? So taking the pressure off yourself, if you're trying to do something in your life where you feel a lot of blockage, like a lot of self-doubt, you feel imposter syndrome, you can't go ahead and do it, how can you take the pressure off yourself? How can you lower the stakes? That will increase your vibration, because a low vibration state is what creates stagnation, okay? So the characteristics of high vibration and low vibration is high vibration feels more flowy, more ease, moving, dynamic. Low vibration is more heavy, stagnant, wearing you down, and it's just undesirable, okay? It just makes you feel like crap. That's the fundamental difference between high and low vibration. Now that we understand there is a difference between power and force, high and low vibration, the question becomes, how can we use this? Well, if you find that in your life right now you are stagnant in one particular area, you've been trying to manifest a goal for a very long time, but nothing is moving in that direction, how can we create movement? Because when we create movement, we begin at the effect, we actually reach, we can trace our way back to the source, which is getting to high vibration. So a lot of the times when our clients join us, we help them first get clear on what they want, the direction that they want to move towards, aka focus on what is wanted rather than what is wanted, but then we teach them how to expand their comfort zones in that direction. What I mean by that is, let's say you want to quit your job and start a business, but you're not clear on the next step of what you need to do to start a business. Well, the thing you need to do right now is simply just create momentum. Just create momentum in that direction. Take one uncomfortable step into the unknown. A lot of the times people think that when people started building successful businesses, they took no risk. They had this foolproof business plan and then they just, executed on it. But that's not true. Most of the time, most entrepreneurs, if you ask them, and after having, I have mentors who started from zero and have multi-million-dollar businesses, what I notice with them is they always take bets. They just have a higher aptitude for risk. They are willing to take risks, but obviously they take calculated risks, not risks that are risky enough to wipe them out, even though some do take risks that were risky enough to wipe them out. But most, they took calculated, appropriate levels of risk. But what I notice is, even if you read Jeff Bezos' autobiography, he wrote his business plan for Amazon on a drive from, I think it was New York to Seattle. They drove all the way there, and on that car ride, he wrote his business plan to pitch it to investors, right? So that's how Amazon got its start as a bookstore. So if you think about it in your life right now, where are you avoiding risk? Where are you keeping yourself small and little and keeping yourself stuck because you're afraid to put yourself out there? You're afraid for the world to see you. Okay? How can you take one uncomfortable step and shake up your reality? Because if you're stuck in stagnant energy, energy needs to get flowing. And when I show you this exercise for moving energy within your body, it's going to make it a lot easier. But for now, you have to understand, these are the fundamental boring stuff that you kind of have to understand that make the exercise, the technique work well. Because if you don't create movement and momentum within your reality, then inertia will manifest itself. And an object that stays in motion, an object that's in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. Okay, so the key is, whatever you find yourself stagnant in, what is one uncomfortable thing I can do to shake this up right now. That is how you activate this principle of vibration to work in your favor. Okay, so if it's your business, how can I take one step? We've had literally clients come in, they're like, you know what, I'm just going to start my LLC. That's a great step. Start that, because then you at least act from that place of, hey, I am a successful business owner, and a successful business owner would assume to have a successful business and start the LLC. Take one step that is symbolic to who you're becoming, to the reality that you're creating. Okay? So if you are procrastinating on something right now, this is your sign to just go ahead and do that thing to shake up your reality. Even something as little as taking a different route to work, something that is uncomfortable, something that challenges you and your brain and your whole being to step up to a different level than what you've been experiencing right now. Because the reality is, if you're experiencing one current sector of reality and you've been experiencing the same reality, the same humdrum routine of life, waking up, showering, brushing your teeth, having your breakfast, going to the same job, doing the same work, and then coming back and then numbing yourself. And then you do this again and again until the weekend, and you look forward to the weekend, and then you say you're going to do work on your business or whatever it is, and then you just never get to doing it. Well, it's because you've been in the same routine. It's time to change your routine. And sometimes even taking a vacation is a change in routine. And so then your brain, your subconscious mind, gets accustomed to a different stimulus. It gets a different stimulus, and so it has to stretch to think differently because this doesn't fit the norm. Okay? So go ahead and do something that will shake up your reality in the direction that you want to move towards. So this brings me very, very nicely to principle number 3, macrocosm versus the microcosm. As above, so below. As within, so without. Your body is the universe. If you look at how intricate our bodies are, every single ancient tradition knew this. The ancient yogis knew this, and so they devised this whole system of yogas, of pranayamas, of breathing techniques, of postures, because they believed the body was an antenna to connect with the divine. And breath was used to move energy in a form known as kriya, okay? And so there's been many sage masters who were known to levitate, to leave their bodies, to make themselves large and make themselves small. Obviously, you don't see this in the modern day and age, but in the ancient times, there's been many records of it, and they obviously wouldn't come out with that. A true adept would never come out to show you some party tricks. But the body literally is a universe, and when we arrange ourselves in a certain way, we can connect to the universe. We can connect to this universal energy. And so the ancients believed that the spinal column, if you look at how your spine is, the 33 vertebrae, right? The spine is designed to literally be an antenna. And so the ancient yogis believed that you could move energy, that you can move energy called the Kundalini energy from the basal chakra. That's where most people's energies are concentrated, the survival biological instinct, to moving it all the way up to the crown chakra. Okay? That is the goal of all ancient yogis, to move energy up along every single one of the 7 fundamental chakras. Okay, they believe there's 114 different chakras and also many different nadis, which are channels. Just like the universe has constellations and stars, there's chakras that we can all tap into and access to move energy around within our body. And so when you go to like an esoteric health advisor or a yogi, the first thing they'll do is find out where your energy is blocked. And you'll find that some people have it concentrated in their Vishuddhi, and those people who have it concentrated in their throat chakra are very good speakers. They can communicate really, really well. Other people who have it concentrated in their heart are very loving, very kind. Other people who have it concentrated in their lower survival chakras, the sacral chakra, have many different other fantastic qualities. But also, when it's stuck over there, it also leads to a lot of different problems. So, understand that our body is the universe, and our mind can be literally used as an antenna to channel energy, like we talked about in principle number 1. And when I share with you this exercise of moving your energy, it is going to activate a connection to the universe. But we're also going to be combining with the exercise of visualization so that you can manifest your dream reality like I have done and I've been able to do in my life. So what I want you to take away from this is understanding that the breath plus movement plus thought will allow you to influence your reality. So when I breathe a certain way, my physiology is a certain way. You can verify this right now. If I breathe shallow, my thoughts and my movement will be affected. I will concentrate energy in one particular area of my body, as opposed to if I breathe deeper. If I breathe deeper and breathe with a certain amount of time, let's say if I take a 6-second inhale and a 6-second exhale, I will feel differently than if I took a 2-second inhale and a 2-second exhale. My whole physiology would change. So the breath is very, very crucial. How you hold yourself, your posture, is also very, very crucial. If you notice that when you get angry, you're a certain way and you're holding tension maybe in your traps and your shoulders, as opposed to if you're calm and relaxed. If you start thinking a certain way, it will also affect your thought and your movement, right? If you become angry, like I said, it might make you breathe shallower. If you become upset and depressed, you'll hold yourself differently, like you're out of life. But if you do the opposite, if you change your physiology consciously, then your thought, your thinking pattern also begins to change. So if you hold yourself upright and you stand straight, stand tall, you breathe deeper, you hold your chest up, your thoughts will begin to change as well. Versus, just do this right now. If you just stand and slouch, you're just going to feel sad. And if you stand up straight and you allow yourself to take space, you're immediately going to become more confident. You're going to feel more confident. You're going to feel more at ease. The question is, can you become aware enough to do this maybe in public settings in front of other people, right? When you're in the presence of others. Instead of trying to, make yourself small and like fit in, you become comfortable. You are at ease, at peace with life itself. Okay? So, the final principle that we must understand to influence reality, principle number 4, is the principle of transmutation. This is probably one of the most crucial ones, because this is what makes or breaks someone being able to pass those tests that I mentioned to you, the tests of life. To change one thing into another. To change one thing into another is the highest art. The ancients were, especially the alchemists, they were obsessed with turning base metal, lead, into gold. However, if you look at all of the mentions of base metal into gold, most of them are actually a metaphor for transmuting negative thought into positive, of transmuting negative life circumstances into something great, just as all the greats have done. The goal is to learn how to transmute energy. We want to transmute energy from negative, lower energies into higher energies. Just like the yogis talk about, transmuting it from the lower base chakras to the crown, the highest chakras, to go from low vibration to higher and higher vibration. If you notice monks, ancient yogis, Qigong practitioners, they all do breath work, there's mantras. When you utter a mantra, there is a vibration that happens. A particular mantra, if I say Om, when I say Oh, then my sacral solar plexus chakra resonates. When I say my Vishuddhi, my throat chakra is what resonates, right? So I'm creating resonance amongst chakras when I say a mantra. So different mantras have different purposes. It also makes your mind more one-pointed. Breath work allows you to transmute energy. We're moving energy from one part of the body to another part of the body. We're creating more of a flow in our energetic meridians or channels, okay? So the goal with transmutation is to go from low energy states to high energy states. One of our client, Naren, was able to do this. So Naren is a trader who joined us, and immediately upon joining our reality mastery program, he saw immediate success with his trading. He went on a winning streak, but then he had this slump, which typically is what happens when you make an intention to level up. So right now, if in your life you're noticing that you've made an intention, let's say Jan 1st, 2025, or maybe in the past you've made this big intention to level up this year, but you're going through a really tough time right now. This is your test. This is the test that you're experiencing before you will level up, okay? But the issue is most people don't know how to pass these tests and challenges. What helps you pass these tests and challenges is a process I like to call coordination, okay? So in our reality mastery program, we teach you how to coordinate, meaning balance yourself, because you go from one end to the next, but keep yourself in balance so you can stay as the person that you've originally intended to be, your ideal self, to shift your identity to becoming who you were meant to be. When you do that, when Naren stayed within that identity, he just recently posted a story about how he's overcome all of those tests and challenges, learned his lesson, and now he's well on track to making 10K a month as a trader. I'll pull it up right here. But I'm not just saying this to promote my stuff, but I'm really just saying this to show you that whatever you're going through right now in your life, if it's a big challenge, The only way you fail is if you give in to the illusion of that challenge. If you perceive this challenge as a challenge, then you will pass. If you perceive this challenge as something must be going wrong in my life, and because you perceive it as that, you fall back, you basically manifest that reality. The mirror of reality says, oh, you think this is bad? Okay, here you go, this is bad. But if you say, no, no, this is a challenge. Oh, you think this is a challenge? Okay, this is a challenge and you're gonna come out the other side with success. A lot of people think that perceiving it as a challenge is a limiting belief. I think that's a load of horseshit. And this is why, because you look at the lives of successful people and you know there's gonna be some hardship. Every single one of them. This is objectively true. Hardship appears as hardship to the subjective observer. Objectively, from reality's point of view, there is no hardship because someone is attaching meaning to it. Who is attaching meaning? To the one who doesn't want this temporary upset, right? So if you wanted to, grow your business to $1 million or $10 million, right? Let's say, and you're at, let's say, 100,000. You want to go from 100,000 to 1 million. Well, you've made the intention to level up and now all of a sudden you're noticing everything breaking down, a lot of these bills coming up, a lot of these tests and challenges arising, unexpected bills, unexpected tax stuff, unexpected legal stuff going on, and you don't know how to make it through from this. You're like, oh, this is way too uncomfortable, I'm gonna retreat. No, stay with it. To you, this seems like a challenge. To reality, this is the way it has to go. For how are you supposed to know? How is our little mind supposed to know the grand scheme of things God or reality has in store for us? What if this was the way? What if you had to lose all of this so that it can create space for newer and better things to come in? Because what you have to remind yourself is life isn't falling apart. It's falling into place. So now let's get to the energy exercise that I've been excited to share with you this whole time. I want you to take some time to sit down somewhere quiet for this and commit to at least doing this for the next 30 days, if not more, okay? Because if you don't commit to doing this for a period of time, there is no point even me sharing this with you, okay? If you just do this 1 or 2 days and then you just quit, it's not gonna work. You have to commit to this, and I'm going to be helping you make an accountability journal in the comment section so that you can come back to it every single day. And let's get to the energy exercise right now. So for this energy movement visualization exercise that I like to call it EMVE, so you want to sit with your spine upright, somewhere where you can sit quietly, with your spine erect, not slouching. Again, your spine should be in an upright position. That's very, very crucial for this part. So there's going to be 4 main steps. You want to, step 1, sit quiet. Step 2, we're going to activate your energy currents. And so how you want to visualize this is there's 2 lines running along the direction of your spine. One 3-inch in front, one 3-inch behind. It's running along your spine and they move in opposite directions. So they kind of alternate. They go up and down like this along the direction of your spine. Okay, so we'll do an exercise where we kind of just, you feel it. You feel the energy moving. So it's going to go to your spine all the way down to come out the top of your head like your crown. And then what you're going to do is just focus on it going up, down, alternating currents. After you've alternated for 7 times, then we're going to begin a short visualization. It's going to be like 30 seconds long at most, where you're going to visualize one goal that you've been working on moving towards. This could be a business goal, a relationship goal, a health goal, whatever it is. Some milestone that you want to move towards, and what life looks like after you've achieved it and what it feels like. The reason why this exercise is so powerful is because it activates what's known as free energy within you, which is also in circulation around the universe. Free energy is everywhere, like Nikola Tesla talked about free energy. That's why he built the Wardenclyffe Tower, to try to extract some of this free energy, but shut him down. Free energy, they wouldn't need these energy companies, right? And they thought he was crazy. So we want to connect to this free energy, and we can simply do this by tapping into it with this exercise that I'm showing you. So then what you want to do is you want to focus on, when you visualize, you want to focus on the accomplishment of the goal. Like after you've accomplished it, what does life look like and what does it feel like? And you also want to do this once every morning, right after you wake up for days. So what I'm accountability journal in the comment section. So go to the comment section, write 30-day accountability journal. And so now let's begin. So I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. And as you exhale, I want you to take another deep breath and count to 5. And now exhale for 5. One last time. 1, 2, 3. Exhale for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. And now I want you to feel the energy currents activating. I'm going to count to 3, and you're going to feel a sudden burst of energy moving along your spinal column in opposite directions. 1, 2, 3, activate. And now as you take an inhale, feel them going in one direction. And as you exhale, feel them reversing direction. Now we're going to do 7 alternations of this energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel yourself getting more and more powerful. 7. By now, if you're doing this right, you feel your spine energized. And now with every inhale and every exhale, I just want you to feel at the inhale they go in one direction, and the exhale they alternate direction, like an alternating current flowing through a wire. And now that you feel energy surging through your spine, I want you to focus on a picture of your ideal scene. A day in the life when the goal that you've been wanting to manifests. What does it feel like to have finally achieved the thing that you wanted to achieve? Feel the ease, joy, the peace, the freedom. Give thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Feel how good it feels to know that you can do it, that you've done it, you've finally done it. It's happened. It's finally happened. After everything you've been through, it's finally happened. Feel the weight lifted off your shoulders. Feel how full you feel, how you can just relax and let go and just be you. You can be lazy if you want. You can do anything you want. You're full. Who you want it to be. Feel how good. And now I want you to take a deep breath, and bundle up all at the center of your spine in your heart. Take a deep breath and bundle up this energy. And when you exhale, I want you to shoot it up through your head into the universe. One more time. Bundle it up. Shoot it up. You've now made a ripple in the ripple space-time. You're going to shift into the lifelines, where this goal manifests, where this goal exists. I want you to slowly open your eyes. So this exercise I want you to do every single morning. you're literally creating a ripple in the fabric of space-time when you shoot up the energy. And I've been doing this for the last 8 years, I believe. Not as regularly, although I wish I had, but a visualization practice I've gone and done is made a 56-minute or an hour long, almost an hour long visualization video. All you need to do is click right here to access it. It has 2 different types of visualizations that I did that allowed me to manifest everything that I wanted, to quit my soul-sucking job that overwhelmed me, that made me feel burned out, that just made me depressed about life, to starting my own business and growing it to $1 million and having the kind of freedom that I do in my life. And it was all thanks to visualization. And all you need right here, it'll take you to the ultimate visualization video. And it has a free guide attached in there as well. So, fellow reality creator, I'm looking forward to your 30-day accountability journal, and I'll see you in this next video right now. Thanks.